But the topic is no one is coming to save you. You know
Hmm.
what I think about when I think about this topic? I think about when Barack Obama became president of the
Hmm.
United States, and I felt like I could exhale that the war was over, that for
Hmm.
sure he was going to have two terms. We had 8 years,
Hmm.
that the past was dead.
Hmm.
We were moving towards a new chapter in the spiritual and
Uh-huh.
the maturation of the country. We had gone forward, and I think that what was bad about that was that I got disconnected from politics when Barack Obama became president because I felt like
You feel
Daddy's
like,
home.
well, you
Daddy
felt
was
like we,
home. I didn't have to do anything.
Mhm.
Daddy was going to
Yeah.
take care of
Well,
everything.
did you
Daddy's
feel
home.
did you feel we got into a place of complacency, which
Yes,
we
I did.
often do when things are a little too comfortable for us, a little too easy? Uh, I think that's what was going on for many of us. And look what happened 8 years later.
Well, it goes back also to this idea of learned helplessness. Have you ever
Hmm.
heard the term
Oh,
learned
yes, I have.
helplessness?
I have. I was going to say, when you gave me this topic and I started just doing some of my own meditation, reading on the topic, something occurred to me is that, the whole concept of nobody is coming to save you. It's not a message of despair. It's a message of freedom. It's the moment that you stop waiting for rescue, is the moment you discover how much power you already have. It's about empowerment, finding that empowerment, finding your strength.
Yeah, and one of the things, there's some interesting things we can talk about. When we talk about learned helplessness, this
Mhm.
happens in people who have had severe child abuse,
Yes.
where no matter what you did, you were abused, and so the child becomes helpless. There was a horrible
Hmm.
experiment they did on a
Yeah.
dog where no matter what the dog tried to do, they tortured the dog. So the dog just
Yeah.
sat there whimpering, "I don't know what you fucking want from me."
Yeah.
How in the world they allowed psychopaths to even engage in research
Yeah.
like this with a dog? I would shoot them and rescue the dog. I mean, like
Yeah.
I'm passionate about animal rights, and
Yeah. I know you
the
are. We
fact that
both
they
are.
would even do an experiment like that. But what they were trying to do was create learned helplessness in the
Well,
dog. So the dog just sat there and pissed on itself and literally
yeah.
couldn't move. And this is what's happening to people who've been victims of child abuse. They
Right.
simply are afraid to move. They have become
Yeah.
helpless, waiting to be saved.
Well, if I could say that, they become conditioned to believe their actions don't matter. And repeated failures just create a sort of passivity. And over time, people just stop trying anymore.
Mhm.
It's like, what's the use? And I think these are the people who end up staying in unhappy jobs, remaining in unhappy relationships, avoiding goals because of past failures, and just believing nothing is ever going to change because that got set in very early in life.
In order to succeed in life, say, for example, you're going before the boards and the boards require you to take an exam
Hmm.
to become an NDA,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
If you had learned helplessness and gave up when you first fail, would you have become an NDA? Would you have become a physician's assistant if you had given up when you first failed?
I would have to say, no, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have, even though I feel like a lot of that conditioning was in my childhood. My mother, I've talked about how I was a seriously bullied child. My mother, horrific anger issues. I had a lot to deal with. But I want to say this, you say I praise you too much, but I did have a superb teacher, and you kept giving me encouragement along the way. And I want you to know that did make the difference for me. It really did.
Yeah, so this goes back to this idea of failure, like
Hmm.
having irrational expectations. Like I had a mother that
Hmm.
I'm sorry to say, may she rest in peace, but my mother
Yeah.
was really invested in sabotaging me. Like
Yeah.
I would pick up a book to study, and she would say, "Well, you should be able to glance at it and just know it." And well, that's not happening here. So I
Hmm.
would just give up, and I
Yeah.
flunked. She actually talked me into flunking out of high school. And
Oh God.
it wasn't until I was hanging out with intellectuals and academics and had moved to Europe and saw them cramming, and they were like, "What are you talking about? I got to go through this material at least 4 times before I'm ready for the exam." And I'm like, "Really?" Yeah, the first time you got to skim and
You
give.
taught me that.
Yeah, the first time you go over the material, you've got to skim it, take some general notes, and just like, okay, what am I looking at here? The second time you
Hmm.
do a close read, then you do another third close read, and then the fourth is to solidify it.
Hmm.
And so I'm like, "You're going through this stuff 4 times? Well, no wonder I flunked out of high school. I wasn't going through I My mother told me I should just snap a finger and know everything." And that's just not how the real world
No.
works. And
And you taught me that. You taught me that about the 4 times. That was one of the earliest things you did when we started going through all of this complex information. And I use that now with almost everything. 4 times. 4 times you will have it.
did it make you more comfortable with failure?
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
explain that process
Well,
for people?
it made me comfortable with the notion, like when you said, the 4 times, the first time you're going to read this is going to make no sense at all. Second time, it'll still be confusing. It'll make a little more
Look
sense.
up and
And
look the words up.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So I think this applies to a lot of things. One of the reasons we're afraid to go for a goal is because we're afraid of screwing up. We're afraid of embarrassing ourselves, whatever. You have to be willing to just make mistakes, look like an idiot, look like a fool. What does it matter as long as it gets you there and
Yeah.
gets you to the goal?
So, what are the good things that happen when you fail and make a fool of yourself? It's like the comedians
Mhm.
that bomb.
Yeah,
Uh, a bachelor party, the film, the guy, one of the actors in it, the drug dealer, the drug guy in the film. He said he bombed 5 years solid. He couldn't
yeah.
get anyone to laugh, and he said he got fired from SNL because his jokes
Hmm.
weren't funny. And he
Sure.
said it was painful, it was difficult. Oh, Two Ferns, is that his show now?
Um,
Um,
I'm trying to think who you're
yeah,
talking.
Two
I think I
Ferns.
know who you're talking about. Yeah.
What's it called? Is it called Two Ferns?
Oh, I know what you mean. He makes it look like a public access show. He even
Between
had
two,
Obama on there. Uh,
between two ferns. Yeah,
oh,
right.
and I'm
So
picturing him. I can't think of the name.
yeah,
Yeah,
Zach Galifianakis.
Galagaphagus. Yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah. So what he says is that failure is good for you. Failure
Hmm.
is good for you. Let yourself fail. You look at how a child learns to walk. They fall, they get back up again. They fall,
Yeah,
they get out, they keep falling and getting back up again, because the way that you master something is you fail 100 times. You cannot master
yeah.
anything unless you fail. And
Hmm.
the worst thing you can do when you're feeling like the whole world is crashing down is to become helpless and wait for somebody to save you, because no one's coming to save you. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
Yeah,
Our We cannot rely on Washington to save us. Big Daddy
no,
Washington is not going to save us. I look
yeah,
at the UFO exposés, and what the hell are they saying? What I am hearing with the UFO expose that's come out in DC. I have only one way I can interpret this, and that is that the evidence is irrefutable that something has entered the earth with advanced technology
hmm,
that your government doesn't understand. We can't protect you. You're on your own.
hmm,
And that seems to be, well, they're like, "Well, we don't know what the hell it is, but we built bunkers and the rest of you are screwed. Good luck with the aliens." That appears to be what our government is saying. And so they bankrupted our country. They stole
yeah,
our money. They gave contracts to their friends for products we didn't ask for. They ran up huge bills with all these wars we didn't ask for.
hmm,
And now, instead of actually doing something that would help the American people, they're announcing, "And we're being invaded by aliens, and we don't know what the hell's going on, but we
yeah,
built bunkers and we're going to take off, and we're going to feed you to the aliens." It's like, that appears to be what the government is saying to us.
hmm,
And it harkens back to that idea. Do you sit around all day watching the doom
yeah,
scrolling on YouTube, or do you save your own ass?
yeah. If I may say this, because I talk to so many of your people on the phone across the country, when this administration began about 14 months ago, I was just hearing so much fear, such feelings of helplessness and despair. But over the coming months, people started realizing I've got to find my own empowerment. I got to really find out how I can protect myself, stand up for myself, and how we can join together in unity. I've been seeing that a lot, hearing that a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're saying to you is get a plan.
Mm-hmm.
This is why on Wednesdays we have Healer Heal Thyself, Empath Heal Yourself. We have a special get together for elders and empaths. If you're at the elders and empaths level, we are going to go through everything you need to do in order to take care of yourself, in order to survive. Everything from the food you put in your body to the way you move your body. To who gets to have access to you, protecting yourself from toxic persons, to deciding what to do with your future. Like, do you leave the country or do you stay in the country? Because a lot of people, they're looking at an exit plan. They're out of here. It's like, if this ship is going down, I'm moving to New Zealand because that's the only place you're going to survive a nuclear catastrophe.
Yeah.
I mean, so Chuck, let's talk a little bit more about No One's Coming to Save You.
Well, actually, there was something that I wanted to read in my notes here, if I may please, about nobody's coming to save you. What does it really mean? I wanted to emphasize it is not you must do everything alone. You should never ask for help. Trauma isn't real. That's not what it is. What it is, it's no one can consistently make your choices for you. No one can do your healing for you. No one can build your future for you, and responsibility ultimately belongs to you. I just wanted to read that. I had my notes.
Yeah, and so this is why we say to people, get control of your physical body. Get control of your physical body. What are you putting? You are not helpless shoving cake in your mouth or smoking weed. Those are the actions of someone who has abdicated personal responsibility. You are an adult. You have control over what you put in your body. You have control over your destiny. You are not completely helpless. And decide what you want to do with the rest of your life. And know that failure is good for you. That failure is part of the process of mastery. So take care of your physical body, take care of your finances, know how much money is going out, know how much money is coming in, live below your means, be frugal, enjoy your life, pursue mastery, be ethical. Be an ethical person who is good in word and deed. Your word is your bond, right? As Michelle Obama says, you say you're going to do it, you do it. You step up to the plate. Be the kind of person that you would want to be married to. Be the person that you would want to spend your life with, because, honey, you're spending the rest of your life with yourself.
Yes. Better be good company for yourself.
No one's coming to save you. I am 100% convinced that disclosure is happening right now because these Nudnikim in the Pentagon, I believe this. I believe these Nudnikim in the Pentagon have no idea. They have lost control of the narrative. Chuck, they have lost control of the narrative. They have no control over this. There's too much happening. There's too much film footage. There's too much audio. They can't control the narrative. And it's as if they're just dumping everything and they're running. It's like, what? And like you had said about our finances, the finances of the American government, they've completely bankrupted this country.
Several times over. I can't remember. We did a show on this a month, 2-3 months ago, where we had the actual figures, the amount of the national debt right now. It's mind blowing how much debt we are in right now. How we are basically bankrupt. Well, we are bankrupt.
There's this idea of the Messiah, that the Messiah comes when you save yourself. Or if you're a Christian, the kingdom of heaven is within you. So it was this idea of, no, you're not supposed to be waiting for me. You're supposed to manifest it in yourself. And I think that is the disconnect, where you have people that sit around waiting for, he's going to come and my savior, and not understanding, no, he's telling you, you have the power within you to save yourself. Save yourself.
Well, I used to know a Science of Mind minister who said to us, find the Christ within your own self.
Yes, exactly.